Looking for a great recipe to cook your salmon? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a couple great ways to prepare your salmon for dinner. All right, guys. So I get asked all the time, what do you like to use to cook your salmon? What kind of recipe? And I've got some recipes on my website. You can find that at ridge2riveroutdoors.com or 365charters.com. But I've got a couple new recipes, and really they're not new. I mean, people have been doing this, but they're so easy and it's so good. So I'm gonna walk you through exactly what you need for ingredients, really simple, and show you how I prep it and show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so the first thing is I like to cook my salmon on the grill. Now, if you don't have a grill, that's fine. You can cook it in the oven. I'm gonna get this grill up to 450 degrees, and that's where I wanna cook my salmon. So if you're using an oven, you wanna get your oven up to 450 degrees. Let's go on into the kitchen and look at the ingredients and how we're gonna prep this. All right, guys, so I've got a couple coho salmon fillets. You can use this recipe for Chinook, pink salmon, chum salmon, whatever salmon you decide to eat. But I've got my fillets. They've been rinsed, patted dry with some paper towels. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get some olive oil. I like to use extra virgin olive oil, and we want to get some olive oil on both sides of this fish. Be a little liberal with my olive oil. Rub that on. Okay. I'm going to flip it. Put a little on the skin side. Flip that back over. A little bit of olive oil on the skin side. Flip that back over. Okay. Olive oil makes a little bit of a mess. Just get our hands clean. Okay. Pepper. Whether you like to crack your pepper, you're going to use granulated pepper, that's fine. This is actually granulated. We're out of cracked right now, so I just want to put some pepper on here. Okay. And it's, you know, pepper to taste. If you don't like a ton of pepper, don't use a bunch of pepper. Kosher salt. Get a good pinch of kosher salt. Good. Just sprinkle some on, not too much, just a little bit. Okay. So here's where it gets crazy. Mayonnaise. Now, normally I've got Hellmann's, but this is a bottle of Winco mayonnaise, and it's whole mayonnaise. I don't like using the light stuff. It doesn't taste the same. Okay, now we're just gonna spread this on one of our fillets here. It's not gonna be pretty, and it doesn't have to be. What's gonna happen though, is this mayonnaise is gonna cook down and just soak into this meat on this fish. It's gonna be fantastic. Okay. So we've got our mayonnaise spread out. And if you've heard about this, but you've never tried it, you're missing out, okay? All right, that mayonnaise is on there. That fillet is done. Now, for today's video, I just brought home one coho. But you can do this for multiple fish. I had a group over, you know, we cooked two fish, and it was great. So you could have a couple fillets with mayonnaise and a couple fillets with pesto. You guys, this pesto is amazing. Now this one, you can get whatever kind of pesto you like. Normal pesto. This one is an asparagus and Italian cheese pesto. This is gonna be good. I've had this before. So we're gonna take this pesto and we're just gonna do the same thing like we did for the mayonnaise, and we're going to spread it onto the flesh side of our fish. And you know, basically you're coating it, okay? You don't have to be skinny with this. A lot of this is gonna cook off. And it's not that you're eating all of this stuff on top, because it it goes to cook off, okay? That's it. Our fish is prepped. Now, there are a couple things extra you can do. You can put a piece of lime on here or a piece of lemon. Today, I've got lime. Don't have any lemon, but I like lime just as much as I do lemon. And I like to just cut them in half, and I'll put one up front and one in back, one up front and one in back. And this is how it's gonna go on the grill or in the oven, like I said, at 450 degrees. Okay, this is ready. We're gonna move out to the grill and get it on the grill. Okay, I'm out here at the grill, and the grill temperature is over 450. That's fine, because once I open the lid, a lot of heat's going to escape, and then I'll get it managed to about 450 or so, right in that area, right? So I'm gonna readjust the camera so you can see what I'm doing here and get this fish on the grill. Okay, so in here on the grill, one thing I've done is I've already laid some foil, aluminum foil, and I doubled it up. And I did that because I'll be using a spatula to get the fillets off of the grill. A lot of times the skin will go ahead and stick to the foil, and that's perfect because you're not gonna eat the skin anyway. You're gonna pull it off, right? This type of cooking doesn't cook the skin in a manner that I would consider it tasty to eat. Now, if we were maybe frying the fish on a grill or something, a griddle, and searing and making that skin crispy, that would be one thing. But this is something different. Now, we don't just want to throw it on there. I know that we olive oiled the backside of the fillet, but I do want to put just a little bit of nonstick. This is just an extra virgin olive oil nonstick. So I just like to spray the foil, give it a little extra. Now we're going to get our fillets onto the foil. And honestly, the best way to do it is just to grab them and lay them down. Okay, fillets are down. Let's get this lid closed. If you were doing this in the oven, of course, you'd close the door to the lid. And I'm almost just above 450 now on the dial right here. So like I said, you open that grill up, getting it up to 600 is fine. Turn your heat down below, but then and I'll turn that down just a little bit more. As you open that thing up, that temperature is going to come down. So we've got it in there, everything's cooking, it's all happy. So the question is, how long do I cook my salmon? Listen, it depends. It depends on where you live. It depends on how good your equipment is. I'm going to ask for, hey Siri, give me a 3.5 minute timer.
3 minutes and 30 seconds, counting down.
Okay. So Siri's counting down for me. I love Siri when it comes to using timers for cooking stuff. So we're gonna go 3.5 minutes, and then I'm going to look at the fish and we'll look at it together, okay? And I'll give you some tips and tricks, what I think will make sure your fish is done, but not underdone. And you definitely don't wanna overcook salmon. Now remember, you guys, 5 different types of salmon, right? We've got pink salmon, sockeye salmon, coho salmon, Chinook salmon, and chum salmon. All of these salmon have different oil contents in the flesh, and it's really easy to overcook salmon. I know a lot of you that love your Chinook, you're about to laugh at what I'm gonna tell you. But listen, pink salmon, when it is fresh caught out in the salt water, it is fantastic on the grill. I've cooked pink salmon, served it to guests, and they thought it was coho. It's not about the type of salmon and, oh, it's only good for smoking. It's about how you prep the fish and how you cook it. I mean, if you overcook your salmon, it's gonna be dry. It's not gonna be good. So we're gonna really monitor this and make sure we have nice cooked, juicy salmon. So let's give it another 3 minutes or so and we'll check back in on it. Okay. I just got my timer. We're gonna take a look. And so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the edges here, and I'll get a close up here in a minute. This isn't quite done. This isn't 3.5 minutes. I want this to go a little bit longer. Let's take a closer look at what I'm looking at. So I can just see while it's cooking, it's not quite there. I've got a little bit of what I like to call effervescence coming out right there. It's probably not a technical cooking term, but that's what I see. I see a little bit of white coming out, and that's not the mayonnaise. It's some of the fat coming out of the flesh. So we're going to give this another 60 seconds. Okay, I've gone another minute. We're going to take a look. Listen, it's done, because when we pull this off the grill, it's going to continue to cook. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it, but I need my hand towel. Okay, I've got my hand towel, I've got my spatula. Just going to ease up under this fish. Boom, nice and stiff. Look at that. Okay, that is done. Same thing. Now, I didn't lose any of the skin. That's fine. That's fine. So, get my last lime on there. Now, here's what I love about aluminum foil. Even if there was some skin here, you just fold it over. We can hear that Admiral Chester Nimitz in there is excited about fish. This is going to go in the garbage after it cools. Okay, so we'll just set this aside for now. All right, the grill is off. Let's get this salmon in the kitchen and let's take a look at it and talk about how we're going to finish our entire dinner. Okay, we got our fish in here. I've actually let it rest for probably 3 or 4 minutes. I had to take a phone call. So this is what it looks like afterwards. So what I like to do, and this is actually perfect, that I can still feel the heat coming. So remember, you pull it out of the oven, you take it off the grill, it's still cooking, okay? I like to take either my lime or my lemon and just squeeze it on, okay? You can add more if you want for garnish. I just throw it away because it's for taste. Squeeze that on. That's on the lemon one. We're over here on the pesto. Give a little squeeze. A little squeeze. Okay. It's done. Okay, so let's plate this up. Okay, so let's get a nice plate. I'm going to pull this out of the way. So here's how I'd plate this up. I'm going to come across, I'm going to just cut a piece of my salmon. Nice portion of salmon. And then for today, I made some zucchini. And you can garnish that any way that you want, right? I'm telling you guys, this salmon is in fantastic condition, okay? So, I'm just gonna bring this open. I want you to see the inside of this flesh. Look at that. That is beautiful. It's moist, it's cooked, okay? Perfectly cooked. I'm gonna open up a piece here. Just let you take a look. That skin just falls right off the bottom. Look at how nice and cooked that is. It's got some pink in it, which you want. You want that. And oh my goodness. Oh. Listen, this is good, okay? It's moist. It's extremely flavorful. And it's cooked, okay? The biggest problem I see is that folks are overcooking their salmon, okay? You think about the restaurants you go to, they might do a nice sear and have a nice crust, but the inside is moist and it's flavorful. If it's not, you're going to the wrong restaurant for your salmon. But you guys can make some fantastic salmon. So again, super simple recipe. You got the mayonnaise recipe. Again, fillets, olive oil front and back, a little bit of cracked pepper or regular pepper, some kosher salt, right? Just a little. Seasoned taste, some mayonnaise, a slice of lemon, slice of lime, whatever you want to put on there. And then do a pesto one. Same setup, just you're putting pesto on instead. And man, you can really play around with those pesto flavors because there's all sorts of pesto out there. So give it a try. I'm having zucchini today. A lot of times I like asparagus, some broccoli, maybe a little Parmesan, you know, over my broccoli or not my broccoli. Yeah, I'm over my broccoli and even sometimes my zucchini. Really great dinner fare. And you get to taste the true essence of the fish. And I think that's pretty important. So if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe. If you like our videos, subscribe so you get to see new content. Until next time, thanks for watching.